Hello, everybody, and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on May 3rd, 2023. We are already at Hump Day. That's Wednesday, and the first week of May. I'm excited to be with you guys today, and I'm bringing some pretty interesting stuff today. You know, I like to call Wednesday Wealth Wednesday, and I like to talk about things that improve wealth and, help your life out a little bit. And the best way to improve your wealth, I've always found, is to improve your health. I think health is very key and very important. And when it comes to being a Kanawha Valley hustler, you can't do it if you're not in great shape. So with all that said, I wanted to bring on my guest here today, who I just recently met, thanks to a buddy of mine that connected us on some health-related stuff. And his name is Orlando Craighead. He's the Executive Director of the Kanawha County Coalition for Community Health Improvement. And I wanted to bring him on here to talk to us a little bit about health, some of the cool stuff that they have going on here, and he's constantly busy. So, Orlando, with all that said, and with an introduction like that, I want to ask you, what is your hustle?
My hustle is health. And it's funny that you said that, health and wealth, because I always say your health is your wealth. It's like the one thing, if you don't have that, you don't have nothing. I mean, you go be in the ground, your job, take care of your kids. If you don't have your health, you don't have nothing. Money,
That's right.
nothing.
And a lot of people get burned out by focusing a little bit too much on that monetary wealth sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's the thing right there. I've seen people just stress themselves out. And, my whole thing is, if you can just take a walk 30 minutes, that does you wonders. And it may not take all the stress away, but it'll take you away from their situation so that you can calm down, get a little exercise in, take care of yourself a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You know, with that in mind, I wanted to go ahead and bring up real quick before we get too far. I have in the comments a link to the Kanawha Active Owl community group, and I wanted to know if you could tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that's a partnership between Spotted Owl Healthcare Organization, which is my private nonprofit, and Southern West Virginia. We have community captains throughout Kanawha County, and we're doing all these different exercises: Zumba, yoga, step class, soul line dancing, weight training, kickboxing. We have a hiking trail of people that lead hiking trails and walks in the community. So it's a variety of different events going on that you can actually get out and enjoy. And you don't have to do anything at anybody else's pace. You do your own pace at your own speed. And it's just a great time. I've seen seniors come out to Zumba, and the Zumba class is awesome. We have Tim Wilborn. He is doing such an awesome job with the Zumba. We've grown over the last, I'm going to say, year from maybe about 20 people to up to like 50 some people at this point. The yoga class has really picked up over the last few months. I think it's more or less because of COVID has, kind of died down. It's not as serious as it was for many people. So now a yoga class, instead of having 2 or 3 people, we're having 18, 15 people come in. Kickboxing, we're seeing more people come into that as well as the weight training. So it's just getting people out, getting them active, get them to walk, do something, be active.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's one of the things that I notice when I talk to people a lot is they kind of get all up in their head about, what their perfect exercise should be. And they'll spend 6 weeks, planning out and plotting it all out and everything. And then they'll never actually get to doing the activity. And it's like more important, just go out and walk for a half hour.
Right. I meet people like they overthink it. They get so caught up. How am I going to look? People are going to see me. And that's not important. The important thing, if you just get out, get the moving just a little bit. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about, because they ain't worried about you. They more or less worried about how they look and what they're doing. So just run your own race. Don't worry about what other people do.
That's funny. It's the harsh truth that should make you feel a lot better is the fact that nobody's watching you. They're worried about themselves.
Nobody's watching you.
So now you mentioned all this stuff, Zumba and yoga and everything else. So what's the cost for things like that if you want to join in?
It's free. That's the kicker. It is free. All this is free. You can come out any day during the week. Go on Kanawha Active Owl, check the calendar, see what's coming up. We have community days where you just walk in. You don't pay anything. You just enjoy yourself. Maybe you've never done yoga. This is your opportunity to go over to West Virginia Health Right, the Wellness Center on the west side, every Monday, yoga class, 6 o'clock. free.
Wow. So
Zumba
I'm looking
class
at.
at Green Church, Presbyterian Church on the west side. There's days where we have free classes, and there's free classes on some days down at West Virginia State University and the Student Union, free. We might have a free kickboxing class over at the King Center. It's free. You don't have to pay anything.
And everything's right here. I'm looking at the group right here, right now, live, and it looks like you've got something, a big day coming up on May 20th.
Yes, yes. Oh, May 20th is going to be a great day. Great day for everybody to come out. Community, anybody, kids, adults, come on out. We're going to have Zumba. We're going to have soul line dancing. We're going to have yoga. We're going to have big Jenga. We got big Jenga on the field. We're going to have big Connect Four, big checker set, and we're going to have a big cage ball match. If you don't know what a cage ball is, look it up. It's a huge, big old colorful ball. We're going to have a good time with that.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. So, like you said, like you don't have to plan too much out. You just show up, right?
Just show up.
That's awesome. I've got the link in there so you guys can check that kind of stuff out. And it looks like you've got stuff, popping up on your calendar and everything all over the place on there. So tell me a little, Orlando. I know I've talked to you in the past, and you're pretty active yourself, right?
Yes, yes.
Don't you actively go in races and things like that?
Yes, just did a race this past weekend, Race for Racism. It was a great run. Actually, it was one of my fastest times, 27:50. So yeah, I'm an avid runner. I get out. I hate that it's cool right now. I hate running in the cold, but I like to say I'm a bougie runner. So I like when it's a little bit warmer. I like to get out. Otherwise, I'm on a treadmill, which I hate. But I love running, man. It's like one of those things. It's my stress relief. When I'm stressed, I got to go run. The more stress I have, the further I run. So if
No.
I'm having a real bad day, I might run 8 miles. If I'm having an okay day, well, it's 3 miles. Minimum of three. But it's all in training for the next race, and it helps me manage my weight. It reduces my stress, gets my heart and lungs pumping. I love it. I use the running as a way to manage my stress, manage my weight, build my body up as well.
Yeah, I think I took up running about 3 years ago, and I run about 3 miles a day. And I've got buddies of mine that do they do the whole half marathon thing. I don't think I could ever pull that one off, but the
I've only
shorter
done
runs
one.
I can do.
Yeah, I've
What's
just done one half marathon. It was a great one. It was actually a Marshall half. Did that in 12:18 or 2 hours and 18 minutes. So that was a good run for me. I was like, wow. I was like, will I do it again? More than likely, I will. Um, it's just something that you train for. You if you're running every day, it's just a natural progression. Natural progression. I'll tell anybody, find your exercise. It could be jumping rope. It could be roller skating or rollerblading. It doesn't matter. Just get active.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people also mistake that. I mean, everybody's body's different. Some people can really thrive with running. Some people love doing weightlifting. Some people love
Yeah.
calisthenics. A lot of people I've noticed as I talk to people, they've had a bad experience in the past because maybe they had a trainer or something that forced the wrong type of exercise on them, and they haven't tried
Mhm.
anything else. Have you ever ran into that?
Yeah, quite a few people I've run into, they might have been in the gym, or they worked out with somebody and they might have got hurt at some point, or they felt like, they were being pushed to do something they didn't want to do. And I would tell you, if you ever feel that way, just walk away from it. That you don't never have to do anything you don't want to do. Find something you're comfortable with. Do it at your own speed and pace. Don't ever feel that you got to compete with anybody. The only person you really should be competing with is yourself. How good are you going to be the next day? Not 20 years from now, just the next day. Don't compete with the guy you see beside you or the female you saw down the street or your neighbor. You are your own competition every day, every year, every month.
And I know you get out in the community a lot, so that makes me want to ask you because I know, you talk about competing with the person next to you, but what do you feel about all these people that are competing with all these people on like Instagram and stuff that are judging themselves based on those types of standards?
Yeah, we've gone into a society where social media is the thing of, that's the reality. And if you really look at it, that's never gonna be the reality. People will show you what they want you to see, and they show you all the good stuff. They don't show you the hard work you got to go through and to be there. You'll see the people with the big house, the Mercedes sitting in the yard, and they don't tell you, hey, I got this great life, but they don't tell you all the struggles and the the things they had to go through, the hard work, the times when they didn't have the Mercedes, the times when they was living in the 1 bedroom apartment. They didn't have a lot to eat. People don't do that anymore. They don't tell you how they struggle to get where they're going. It's just the end result. And these young people think, hey, I should have the Mercedes. I should live in a big house. I was like, yeah, you got to work for that. You got to climb that ladder. It's not easy. It's no quick process. And I've run into so many people here in West Virginia and outside of West Virginia that think there's a quick, easy, fast way to get there. If it's quick, fast, and easy, that's not gonna last. There's something wrong with that process. You literally have to hustle. You got to get out here. If it's selling anything, you got to build your clientele. If you're making anything, you got to make the product, then sell the product. If you're trying to build community, like I am building a health network, you got to get out here and know people. You got to work people. You got to sit there and talk to them about it. Show them what you're giving. And it's no easy way. I wish there was. I was like, God, I would have already jumped on it. But yeah, it's no easy way to get to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to a guy here recently that he's at the top. He owns an insurance company, and he told me, I've only got about 5 clients. They're really big clients, and everybody's always asking me, how do you get to those big clients? And he says, well, I've been doing it for 40 years.
Right.
That's the part they don't want to hear about. They just want to hear, how do I get the big clients?
Yeah, you got to put your work. I don't care what it is. If you're gonna run a half marathon or a marathon, you gotta train every day. You gotta go do some weights. You gotta run just about every day. Go a little bit further every day till you get to the 12.3 miles. You gotta work. It's work, and anything you do is gonna be work.
Absolutely. Well, Orlando, we're bumping up against our time here. We talked about the field day coming up on May 20th. And about your group, I've got that pinned right there, the Kanawha Active Owl. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with before we pop off here today?
Hey, health is your wealth. Don't compete with anybody. Just compete with yourself.
I love it. I love it. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on with us. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Make sure that you give Orlando a big shout out. And share. This will also be up on YouTube and LinkedIn and the podcast and everywhere else. So be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.